Allocution de Monsieur Fortenberry, Congressman USA, du musée Nebraska.
Thank you. Bonjour. Je suis très content d'être ici avec vous. Tout d'abord, je voudrais remercier Monsieur Henry Millet, mon bon ami, le mari de Saint-Marie-du-Mont, et Monsieur Charles de Valavilliers, le président du musée de Berkemont de Utah Beach, pour leur direction et leur hospitalité. Thank you so much. C'est aussi un plaisir de vous voir ainsi, Madame Ambassador Hartley. So nice to see you again as well. Thank you for your presence here. I would also like to thank briefly the museum staff, particularly Ingrid and Mr. Benoit, who have done such an extraordinary job of coordinating today's event. And also let me recognize Madame la Préfète de la Manche, Danielle Paul Montemasson, and her assistant, Monsieur Denis Deniwal, de la Préfecture de la Manche. Thank you all so much for your leadership in putting together this important event today. It was on the night of June 6th of 1944 that President Roosevelt came on the radio to tell Americans that the greatest battle of their time had begun. He led our country in prayer. America held her breath, and her people lifted their eyes to heaven for those who are hitting these beaches an ocean away. Along this coastline, the future of civilization hung in the balance. Young soldiers were given the assignment to land in the face of a ruthless, well-trained Nazi enemy. And as their Higgins boats landed, machine guns fired and mortars fell from well-conceived German bunkers. Some soldiers drowned before making it ashore. Others died instantly in the hail of gunfire. And as General Omar Bradley said, quote, 6 hours after landing, we had 10 yards of beach. But somehow, inch by inch, these brave young men, fighting through the storm of bullets, managed to secure these beachheads. Last year, I was privileged to represent America at the 70th anniversary of the Great Battle. President Obama and President Hollande spoke movingly about D-Day, what it means, what it meant. As President Hollande said, France will never forget. A good number of veterans made it to the ceremony that day. Most were over 90 years old, and all of them were in good cheer. One veteran, as I recall, said to me, I haven't been here in 70 years. Much better reception this time. Something else happened to me while I was here last year. I met a historian, a retired officer in the British military, Major Timothy Kilvert-Jones, who is with us on the stage here. He gave an extraordinary overview of D-Day with an absolute command of the details of the battle. I was so impressed by the Major's speech that I invited him to come to Nebraska last summer to give a presentation to my community. And while there in Columbus, Nebraska, we visited the Andrew Jackson Higgins World War II Memorial at the entrance of that community. When Major Kilvert-Jones saw the Higgins boat and the statue of the troops, he simply replied, "This belongs on Utah Beach." And here we are today. Today represents a remarkable effort by the people of Columbus, Nebraska, that small prairie community in America's heartland, nestled along the Platte River, the very route where the first Western settlers journeyed to build their new life. And the people of Columbus, Nebraska, have now built a new memorial to life in honor of those men who gave their all, in honor of the veterans who are still with us, in honor of the people of America whose spirit of generosity helped liberate Europe, and in honor of the French, whose partnership and friendship we deeply value. Now back home, this original monument was the idea of high school kids, students in Mr. Jerry Meyer's Columbus High School social studies class over a decade ago. I want to thank all those noble, hardworking people of Nebraska who I represent in the United States Congress. And I want to thank Major Kilver Jones for recognizing the meaning of this monument and conceiving the idea for it here on Utah Beach. I want to thank the people of Saint-Marie-du-Mont and their leadership again, who have warmly received us, and all of the people of Nebraska who have participated in this great effort. And I do think this effort is worthy of the World War II generation, the greatest generation, as we call them today. We reflect fondly and appropriately on that generation, some of whom have joined us today. Gentlemen, we admire your courage. We are nostalgic for your values. We want what you had: purpose, determination, and a can-do spirit. So I say to us all, why not? Let's do it again. Let's attack the disquiet that is affecting so many of our countries. We live in an age of deep anxiety. We long to rediscover our narrative, to recover the source of our strength. And if we can retranslate the ideals of that great generation for our time, perhaps we can reclaim their legacy for today. Chaos and disorder are not inevitable in our century. Let's defeat them, along with the imperialism of despair. As members of the community of responsible nations, many of whom represented today, let's elevate these values of courage and commitment and compassion. And as we reflect on the pain and agony of what war once brought, let's not be afraid of grace and beauty and goodness and truth for our own time. And given the complexities of our own time, perhaps it is our call to become the next great generation. God bless America. Vive la France.